Hi students, welcome to online class. In this video we are going to discuss about chapter 12 arrays and structures. Now we are going to see the next topic, types of arrays. So in the last video we have discussed about what is mean by array, and then we discussed about how the array concept was evolved. Now we are going to see what are the types of arrays are there. There are three types of arrays are there. First one is one-dimensional array. The next one is two-dimensional array. And then third one is multi-dimensional array. Can you understand, students? There are three types of arrays are there. One-dimensional array, then two-dimensional array, and then multi-dimensional array. See, already in the previous video we studied dimension represents, the word dimension represents size of the array. How many values we are going to store in that particular array. How many values we are going to store in that array. So that is what we used to call it as size of the array. We can call it as dimension. It is otherwise called as dimension. See, now we are going to discuss about the one-dimensional array first. What is mean by one-dimensional array? This is the simplest form of an array. This is the simplest form of an array, where in one-dimensional array the values that are stored in a single row or in a single column. See, in one-dimensional array, the values will be stored either in single row or in single column. So, it is not like matrix. It is not like matrix. Matrix consists of rows and columns only, but here also, either it will be stored in single row or single column. Either it will be stored in single row or single column. Can you understand, students? One-dimensional array represents, the values are represented or that are stored in either in single row or in single column. So let us see the syntax first, how to declare the one-dimensional array, and then we can discuss the examples. When you discuss the example, then you can understand how the one-dimensional array will be. How the one-dimensional array will be. See here, declaration of an one-dimensional array. Declaration of an one-dimensional array. So for that you need to know the syntax. See here, the syntax is given: data type, array name, and then array size. The array size should be given within the square bracket. See, it is like an ordinary variable declaration. It is like an ordinary variable declaration. How will you declare the variable? So data type, variable name, then semicolon. Is it right or not? You might have studied in 9th chapter. Data type, space, variable name, one or more variables you can give. Variable 1, variable 2, then semicolon. Like that we are going to declare for array also. But what is the difference is, here we want to specify the size of the array. Here we want to specify the size of the array. So what is the syntax? Data type, array name, that is data type space array name. Then we want to specify within the square bracket. Within the square bracket we want to specify the array size. We want to specify the array size. What is mean by data type? Can anyone say? Yes, data type means that represents the type of data we are going to store in that array. Data type means that is used to represent the type of data what we are going to store in the array. So data type declares the basic type of the array. Data type declares the basic type of the array, which is the type of each element in the array. So the element belongs to which data type? The elements belongs to which type? So that we want to specify here as data type. The element belongs to which type? So that should be specified as data type. Can you understand, students? Right. What is array name? Array name specifies the name of the array with name with which the array will be referenced. Simply we can say that array underscore name means name of the array. Array underscore name means name of the array. In simple words we can say, see here, array underscore name specifies the name with which the array will be referenced. So how we are referencing that array? So that is called as array name. That is called as array name. Then array underscore size. Array underscore size defines how many elements the array will hold. So how much values we are going to store. How much values we are going to store, or else we can say that how many elements the array can hold. How many elements the array can hold. So that is called as array underscore size. We can call it as size of the array. The size of the array specifies how many elements we are going to store in the array. How many elements the array can hold. We can say like that. And then size should be specified within the square brackets. Always the size should be specified within the square brackets. So the array can be represented by the symbolic representation square bracket. See, function means it is represented by parenthesis. Is it right or not? How will you represent function? Parenthesis. How will you represent array? It is represented by square brackets. So symbolic representation. So with this we can understand easily. Parenthesis means that represents function. Square bracket means that represents array. Can you understand, students? So data type, array name, and then array size. After that semicolon should be given. Data type specifies the type of element. Array underscore name specifies the name of the array. And then size represents how many elements we are going to store in the array. So now let us take an example. So in this example, int num of 10. Int num of 10. So int num within the square bracket we have given 10. So num is the array name. Is it right or not? From this example we can understand that num is the array name. And then num belongs to which data type? It belongs to integer data type. It belongs to integer data type. And then how many elements I am going to store in the array? How many values? 10 values I am going to store. Is it correct, students? Yes. Now you see here, in the above declaration, an array named as num. In the above declaration, an array named as num is declared with 10 elements. So that is declared with 10 elements. So how many memory space will be occupied? So it is integer. Integer means 4 bytes. Integer means 4 bytes. So 10 values. So 10 into 4, 40 bytes. 40 bytes of data will be occupied. 40 bytes of memory is occupied. So memory space to store 10 different values as integer type. So memory space will be occupied for the 10 values. All the 10 values are integer data type. So based on the integer data type, so integer occupies 4 bytes. So 10 values, each and every value 4 byte. So 10 into 4, 40 bytes of memory will be occupied. Can you understand, students? Right. Now we are going to see for the above declaration, the compiler allocates 10 memory boxes referenced by a common name num. For the above declaration, the compiler occupies 10 memory location, that is 10 memory boxes referenced by a common name. See here, for example, I have assigned, in your book it is not specified. For your understanding I have given. For your understanding I have given. See here, these are the 10 memory boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So totally 10 boxes. 10 boxes are occupied by the variable num. 10 memory boxes are occupied by the variable num. All the 10 boxes is used to store the value. Is it right or not? All the 10 boxes is used to store the values. And then how will you access the value? We can access the value by subscript. By the subscript. What is mean by subscript? See, each and every value is given a name, is given a number. That number is called subscript. That number is called a subscript. See here, the array subscript always starts with 0. The array subscript always start with 0. Can you understand, students? See, in the above declaration, int num of 10. In the above example, int num of 10 is given. Int num of 10 means num is an array name that belongs to integer data type. So how many values I am going to store? 10 values I am going to store. So the compiler will allocate 10 memory boxes. The 10 memory boxes is called as 10 memory locations, that is 10 memory boxes that are referenced by a common name. What is the array name? Num. So num is the common name. Num is the common name for that. Num is the common name for that. So in your book they have not given values. For your understanding, I have specified the values. In your book there is no value specified, students. For your understanding, I have given some value in each and every memory box. Right? So each and every element, that is each and every memory box has a unique index number. Each and every element, that is each and every memory box has a unique index number. That unique index number always starts with 0, which will be starting with 0. So totally 10 memory boxes are. So the subscript, that is subscript starts with 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why is ending up to 9? Totally 10 boxes. So the subscript should end at 10 only, no? Why it is ending at 9? Because the array subscript starts from 0. The array subscript starts from the index. Starts from the index 0 and it ends up to 9. If you consider the n as 10, if you consider the n value, that is number of values, if you consider the n value, that is number of values, is equal to 10, you reduce n minus 1, that's all. You take n minus 1. So n minus 1 means 10 minus 1, 9. As it starts with 0, it always ends with n minus 1. You can note it down, this formula. The array subscript always starts from 0 and ends up to n minus 1. If you take the number of values, you reduce by minus 1, because the array subscript always starts from 0. So each and every element memory box has a unique index number starting from 0, which is known as subscript. Can you understand, students? Right. The subscript starts with 0 and it should be an unsigned integer value. So subscript always starts with 0 and it should be an unsigned integer value. What is unsigned integer value? Unsigned means non-negative number. Signed means negative number. Unsigned means it's a non-negative number, positive number. The index will not be a negative number. The index will not be a negative number. That is, subscript will not be a negative number. So that's what they are saying. The subscript starts with 0 and it should be an unsigned integer value. Each element of an array is referred by its name with the subscript index within the square bracket. Each and every element of the array is referred by its name. So each and every element is given the same name, num. Each and every element is referred by the same name, num. Let us take the simple example in the above example. So 10 is given name num. 20 is also represented by num. 50 is also represented by num. 80 is also represented by num. So all the values are given only one name. All the values are given only one name. That name is called num. That name is called num. And then if I want to access, if I want to use the variable, sorry, if I want to use the value 20, if I want to use the value 60, if I want to use the value 60, how can I access? How can I use that value? See here, each element of an array is referred by its name with the subscript index, with the subscript index within the square bracket. So I want to specify num of 0. If I say num of 0, num of 0 means what it represents? 10. If I say num of 1, 20. If I say num of 2, if I say num of 2, it is 30. If I say num of 3, it represents 40. If I say num of 4, it represents 50. So like that, num of 5, num of 6, num of 7, num of 8, num of 9. If I say num of 9, that represents 100. Can you understand, students? The array name, after the array name, if you want to, if you specify the index, if you specify the index or subscript, num of 1, num of 0, within the square bracket, within the square bracket, if I specify, then it will access the particular value. If I say num of 1, it will access 20. If I say num of 5, it access 60. If I say num of 3, it access 40. Can you understand, students? See here, for example, num of 3 refers to the fourth element in the array. Num of 3 represents the fourth element in the array. Because array index starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. So that it represents fourth value. Fourth element, fourth value. Can you understand, students? Now see some examples for one-dimensional array. Some examples. Character emp underscore name of 25. Character emp underscore name of 25. What it represents? It represents character array. It represents character array. What is the name of the array? Name of the array is emp underscore name. That is employee name. The array name is employee underscore name. Character array. What is its size? The size is 25. So it is specified in square bracket. Like that, see the next example. Float salary of 20. Float salary of 20. So salary is the array name, and then it represents the floating point array. It represents floating point array. What is its size? Size is 20. Size is 20. Like that, see the next example. Int a of 5, comma b of 10, comma c of 15. A of 5, comma b of 10, comma c of 15. So more than one array. More than one array is declared. So a of 5 is one-dimensional array. A of 5 is one-dimensional array. B of 10 is another one-dimensional array. C of 15 is another one-dimensional array. So multi-arrays are declared of the type integer. More than one array is declared of the type integer. Can you understand, students? So I hope you might have understood this video. So let's end the class. So thank you, students.